right, so I want to talk to you all today about a common theme of emails that I get regarding metabolic damage and repair and people's thought processes of what they think should be happening when they're trying to repair a damaged metabolism. And most of the time, people are perception blind in terms of what that even means and how it unfolds. So they want metabolic damage repair to be the way they want it to be and not the way it actually is. So I thought of a good analogy here in the sports world of equating metabolic damage and repair with an athlete who tears his ACL, MCL, that's knee ligaments for those who don't know, and what that entails in terms of repair and healing. So the problem is people write me and they'll identify the metabolic damage quite readily. You know, I competed for this many years, I dieted this way, now my metabolism won't respond, blah, blah, blah. So they identify the actual damage correctly. But then when they talk about metabolic damage repair and healing, they start shooting all over themselves. So they'll end up writing me, I should be losing weight the way I'm eating. I should be able to eat a lot more than I can eat. I should have healed by now. My metabolism should have been repaired by now. I should have more energy than I have. I should be able to eat more carbs than I can. I've done it all. I've done reverse dieting. I've done this. I've done that. Well, they're shooting all over themselves without accepting that repair and healing take place in different time frames, and it's not up to what you think should happen. It's about listening and paying attention to what's going on within the body. So here's an analogy comparison. Take an athlete who tears his ACL, MCL, a really damaging tear of the knee ligaments, and has to have reconstructive surgery. We know in the sports world, especially in sports where agility demands, like a running back in football or a wide receiver, etc., it can take anywhere from 12 to 18 months, all right, for that ACL reconstruction to be fully healed and to be back at the strength you were before. Compare this to metabolic damage. All these people shooting on themselves, it would be like someone who has ACL surgery and gets their leg out of a cast, and then a week later writes their surgeon and says, something's wrong. I can't squat 400 pounds like I used to before. I should be able to work my leg out. I should be able to do squats. I should be able to. Obviously, in that scenario, you see how utterly ridiculous that is when we know that the repair is one thing and the healing and the rehab is another thing that can take 12 to 18 months if they ever get back to full strength at all. Some never do, even though the success rate is pretty high. But it'll take up to 6 months after ACL reconstructive surgery to even get the go-ahead to start physical activity. How does this compare to metabolic damage? Well, the same thing. You correctly identify the damage, but then you don't realize the repair and the healing. So first you got to go backward to go forward. In other words, the athlete who tears his ACL, he has to go backward to go under the knife to get that ACL reconstruction, get that surgery done. And then he has to go through, after the repair, you have to go through the healing. Well, the same is true in metabolic damage. It's just that people don't want to accept it. So they start with, I should be able to eat more. I should be back to my regular metabolism. I should be losing more body weight. I should be leaner than I am. Yada, 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 yada. They don't understand that the repair and the healing go on in different time frames. So you start thinking you should be able to do this kind of dieting and that kind of dieting with metabolic damage, repair and healing, not realizing that these time frames, you got to listen to the body to know what's going on. And always equating metabolic damage repair with weight loss is not accepting the fact that you've damaged it to begin with and not accepting the fact that repair and healing take time. So it's not about, I should be able to eat more calories. I tried reverse dieting. I'm just getting fatter on the calories that I'm eating. That's all part of repairing the damage. You can't just think in the same terms of what caused the damage to begin with, that I'm eating this many calories, I should be able to eat this many calories. Before, my metabolism did this, now it does that. That would be like an athlete who tears his ACL, gets it reconstructed, and then 2 weeks later thinking that the rules of repair and healing and rehab don't apply to them, and then thinking something's wrong because they can't go into the gym and squat, and can't put weight on their foot correctly. So heed the lessons of this analogy. If you've truly damaged your metabolism, healing and repair take place in a long-term time frame, and you need to stop shooting all over yourselves about what you think should be transpiring during that time frame of repair and healing. So you can't force your body to start losing weight again. It shouldn't be doing any particular thing other than repairing and healing itself. Sometimes that'll mean gaining weight. Sometimes that'll mean not losing or gaining weight. It's all about reconnecting key feedback loops like the hunger satiety feedback loop, etc., and letting the body repair itself. So just like an athlete wouldn't tear his ACL and want to continue his activity in professional sports by thinking, 2 weeks after surgery, he can go out and start training again, because that's just the repair, and then the healing takes place over a long-term time frame. Well, with metabolic damage, the exact same thing is true. Just because you think repair and healing of metabolism should take place along the lines of weight loss and only weight loss, or should take place along the ways that you think, that's not honoring and listening to your body. And imagine if an athlete who had to have joint repair or ligament repair, I used the ACL example, imagine if they had that same line of thinking to get back to their original activity before their body, after repair, before it was fully healed and ready to go through the process of getting back to training. Like I said, for a torn ACL, anywhere from 12 to 18 months to get back to full strength. And that starts with very mild activity levels. So the same is true with metabolic damage repair. So you need to stop the nonsense of thinking there's a one-way solution that equals being leaner and losing weight. That's what caused the problem to begin with. An athlete wouldn't get out after surgery and go back to doing the same thing that caused him to tear his ACL to begin with. That wouldn't make any sense. So metabolic damage repair and healing takes place in a time frame that is on the body's agenda and not your own. And you need to stop shooting all over yourself about how you think it should unfold. That's just more of the mindset that caused the issues to begin with. So that's the straight chi-chi on metabolic damage, repair and healing and repair. And you need to honor and respect your body and stop forcing it. It's not your body that's not responding well. It's the damage that you did to it. And repair and healing takes time, and that time takes place on your body's time frame, time schedule. Repair, healing, and repair. And that doesn't unfold just because you think it should unfold the way you want it to. So that's my rant on metabolic damage repair. Those out there who are offering you advice that their diet solves it or their diet doesn't cause it, stop the nonsense.